Hi guys, my name is Saad and I am making my first official YouTube video after a very long time. I did make YouTube videos in the way back talking about religion, but I took down those YouTube videos because there are people who do a much better job than me at it. Anywho, so what I want the purpose of this channel to be is on modern events and modern social norms, social ideals and what's inspired me to start a YouTube channel is that I see a lot of people that do make YouTube videos that I genuinely disagree with, and I feel like what's always held me back from making YouTube videos is always feeling like, okay, perhaps I don't have all my points in order. Perhaps because the internet is a ruthless place, so I know the comment section are going to be brutal. And so, I felt that, okay, you know what, there's a lot of people I genuinely disagree with, and it seems that, they have a voice on, again, social media platforms, and I just don't have that. And I feel like there are people who would feel the same way as I do. And I just, I created this channel to be a voice for them as well as be a voice for myself in expressing those views. And I suppose in response, what I would get is the comment section giving me feedback on how they think or how they feel. And I can imagine people being ruthless. And at that point, you just kind of have to, like, either ignore, yeah, you just can't be a softie because I know the internet is going to be a hard place. And yeah, so my name is Saad. I think that's the only introduction I'll honestly only give, just because I feel I'd be concerned about how my views would impact my personal life. But overall, I suppose I'll share more with time if I ever do become that interesting or popular. If I do, if I don't, I don't. My videos will be here. I do expect to put this video down in the future because I can imagine, like, right now it's just like simple lighting and such a very basic video, and I hope I'll do a better job in the future, and so that this video will just kind of go away because, yeah. Anywho, I suppose, like, right now, in respects to events that are happening right now, and I suppose that's what I'll start off with is, Andrew Tate's been incredibly popular on the news. And I've read a few news articles where they talk about how he's a self-proclaimed misogynist, right? And all sorts of bad things about the guy. And I'll tell you, like, genuinely how I've personally felt about him from day one. I think that when I first came across Andrew Tate, I think I saw this guy, and from what I understood, that he had a webcam business, which is something that I'm not a fond of. That's not something I would support. So, I didn't really like him. But, he said some positive things about Islam, and I was like, oh wow, like, so he's saying pretty nice things, and I appreciate that, being a Muslim myself. Anywho, fast forward from there, I watched a lot of his videos. He was all over TikTok, and he had, like, hilarious videos, like, the things that he would say, the persona he would have. And I just laugh, like, man, this guy's hilarious, right? I wouldn't necessarily always agree with him, but there are some times I was like, oh man, bro, that's a little too much. But at times I'd be like, oh, that's a good point. Again, even though he was saying it in a manner that was perhaps not so, acceptable or respectable, I suppose. But anywho, fast forwarding, I think that the attack on Andrew Tate, where he was banned from social media, and a lot of the fabrications that have been pushed against him, put on him, I think that's what made me like Andrew Tate more. Is like how much hate he was getting, because clearly he was doing something that was right, that he was getting so much hatred. Because, for example, they would fabricate his statements, and they would call him a misogynist, and they would fabricate his statements and tell, oh yeah, this is what you said, this is the impact you're gonna have by saying this. And I'm just sitting there like, no, like, that's no way is that true. Like, this, what he said, I agree with. And I think there's a lot of people who kind of sit there and it's like, oh, listen, if you really listen to the guy, he's just, he's not being a misogynist, he's just being a regular guy sharing his opinion. He's got a way of actually sharing, like, actually coming across and giving that information, which, to be honest, like, it's kind of funny, it's hilarious to me. I get it, like, I don't know. I personally, by the way, I apologize. There are a few things that I need to work on. I can't keep saying I don't know. But what I'm trying, when I say I don't know, what I mean by that is I don't know how to put into words in respects to why I always agree, like why I tend to like sometimes the way he communicates it, despite it not being okay to the average Joe, I suppose. But overall, it's really unfortunate. I do hope that he comes out. He get, I know his bail was, his appeal was rejected. It's really unfortunate, and I hope that the 30 days will be over. It will, and I hope that he'll come out safe, and he'll be well. So definitely hashtag free Andrew Tate, hashtag free Top G, and yeah, um, that's my piece on that. I suppose I don't know how to elaborate further, and I want this to be my first YouTube video, so that I'm trying to motivate myself to actually have my voice on a social platform like YouTube. So I apologize for not going into further details in respects to how I feel about the topic, but overall, I guess me saying that hashtag free Top G, hashtag free Andrew Tate really says it all. I don't believe that he actually has a sex trafficking ring. I don't believe that he raped a woman. I don't believe any of that, and I don't not because I'm like I'm one of those fans that is not willing to listen to reason, but it's just that like I think that if it was so important, like I'm just saying, like if the Romanian authorities had knew that he had quote unquote raped a woman in the past, then why would they not go after him before? Why now after he's become so big? Why now after it seems that again he was canceled, and it seems that the Matrix is after him. So I mean, in that regard, it doesn't make sense. So what, like, just so because he's rich that they're going to prosecute him, and if he was a nobody, they wouldn't have prosecuted him? That doesn't make any sense. In fact, what does make sense is that if he wasn't if he was a nobody, it would be easier to prosecute him, versus when you are a somebody, you can try and buy out the judge, the police, etc. Have some sort of influence to protect yourself from the law. And yeah, so anywho, that being said, this is my first video, and I hope that to some level or degree you guys enjoyed it. Peace.